Good evening. Welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 112. I'm Ron.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Walker.
And we have Walker live from, well, this is taped, but he's
Czechoslovakia.
live, live from Corby, UK, England, site of the 2019 ISRA Worlds. Walker is representing the USA. Check him out. He's got the hat on. And Walker got him a haircut. He's looking good and fresh. I'm proud of him. And so tell us about your experience so far. Like, how was your big, first time you flew on a big jet, right?
Yeah, first time flying. It was the first one from Charlotte to JFK. We were on a smaller plane. So, I mean, we had a little bit of minor turbulence, but it was way better than the big flight because the plane we were on for the big one was huge.
Right.
It had like 300 passengers, and it was 3 rows of people. It was great. And what was even better is that I was supposed to be a middle seat for that one, but the person that was at the window didn't come, and so I got to sit at the window, and we got a free seat between us. So I didn't have to go elbow to elbow with him the whole time.
And him is his dad, Randy. So it's Randy and Walker on the loose in the UK, driving on the wrong side of the road, steering wheel on the wrong side of the Mercedes. And okay, so your flight was good. You land, you go get your rental car, you get on the road.
So let me back up a little bit.
All right.
Let me back up to we landed at JFK, and so we're scrambling trying to figure out where to get our luggage, right? So we asked somebody, and they said, "Yeah, you got to go on the air train and go down here, and then you got to go down there and go over here." I'm like confused. So I get on the air train, and I followed somebody that was on our flight. I just followed him all the way to the luggage, grab our luggage, and the bag that I was taking, the entire front ripped open. Or no, the bag he was taking, the entire front ripped open. That was the one with all of our slot car stuff in it.
And underwear.
And what the handle was, they threw it around, and it ripped off the front. So then we're like, we thought we lost the soldering iron, but thankfully we didn't. I don't think we lost anything, fingers crossed. So that was annoying. So then we were going around the whole airport we had to walk for 30 minutes at JFK with a bag wide open. That was terrible.
So you got to your other airline and you checked everything back through security.
Yeah, we got it wrapped by some dude with plastic, with saran wrap. That worked good. They still, as soon as we told the guy, we sat it down whenever we checked him in. We sat it down. He sat it on the scale, and I told him, I was like, this bag's ripped where the handle is, so just be a little careful. He gets done weighing it, picks it up, slings it onto the thing. I'm like, dude, this bag costs more than a month of your pay. Like, come on.
I don't care.
Don't care.
Don't care.
But I mean, other than that, other than the airports, JFK being humongous, everything went pretty well. The worst part was customs whenever we got here. Customs, I was having a hard time getting through because my hair's gone, and on my passport, I have a ton of hair. So I was having a hard time getting through, and he was having a hard time getting through because poor old boy didn't know what to do. He still looks the same as he did whenever he had the passport picture taken, but he didn't know that you had to push your passport all the way in the thing and hold it down. He was just standing there for like 5 minutes trying to figure out what to do. Then he finally got yelled at and told how to do it.
All right. So you get your rental car, you get to the hotel or track. I don't know where you went first, but we'll just talk about the track and your experience so far. So it's Wednesday. How many days have you been practicing?
We started Monday.
Okay. And you've practiced every day?
Yeah, every day that I could, any class that I could, I
Okay.
ran.
So, I mean, I'm sure the track is screwed up as far as it's probably over rubbered. They haven't probably cleaned it much.
Well, it was clean Monday morning. We ran it Monday yesterday, and then it was clean last night and
Okay.
glued this morning. And then it's 2 days, so 2 days clean, 2 days clean. But the problem is like last night it was terrible because the doors were wide open, and there's doors by the track on the other end of the building, and so those doors were open. They were opening and closing the whole time because there were people coming in and bringing stuff through there. And so the track was inside was like 60 over here and then 75 over here. And so the track was screwed up beyond belief.
Okay.
And it's still kind of not great, but
okay.
It's getting better.
So do you think that you feel comfortable on the track? Like you've got enough laps that you
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean I've got probably 1,000, 2,000 laps on it by now. Just
Okay, so
from
do you
beating around like production cars and stuff.
Okay, so today when your dad was putting up stuff on Facebook Live, thanks for that, Randy. Yeah, I seen camera. I seen a view of the track different than I've seen in the past when they've had the races over there because like they have the camera in one spot. So the track to me doesn't look that technical. I mean, it looks like it's fairly easy to pick up and learn. Is that the case?
Well, not really. And the reason is because it's really fast.
Right.
It's a really fast track. And so it's easy to get around, but it's hard to get around fast. Especially the gutters. The gutters are unbelievable. Like red lane is by far the hardest lane. But if you get good at red, you're going to be good on almost every lane except for like black and purple.
Right.
So I've ran probably 1,000 to 1,500 laps on red, just getting good on red. And I'm faster on red than I am on any other lane.
Okay.
Just because I've ran it a lot,
So from what you've seen so far, who do you think are the fastest Americans?
The fastest Americans, Jonathan Forsyth, Paul, Justin's quick.
Okay.
And then like myself, Chubby, Chris Cross, we all kind of land in the same region on speed. Chubby's just a little more consistent than us on speed right now.
Okay, so the guys
it just depends on the class, basically.
Right. So the guys that have been there at least once, they're faster than you guys that have not been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
They already know basically what they need to do to their cars, this, that, and everything else.
Okay.
And Radisich, of course, knows the track by now. He's been there 3 times already. So
right.
He doesn't even have to practice. He goes and practices once per class, and then that's it. While we're like running around trying to get 5 in per 3-hour session.
Right. So who do you think is the fastest so far? Czechs, Italians, the English?
The English aren't too quick. The Latvians are fast.
Okay.
The Czechs are, of course, fast. And the Italians are pretty quick. But I think right now, it's the Latvians and the Czechs.
Okay.
The Brazilians are quick, but they're not quite there. The The finish are quick, but they're not quite there. You know, the Czechs and the Latvians are just a little further ahead.
Right. I mean, it's still early. I mean, you still got
Yeah,
2
exactly.
more days of practice, and then production starts on Saturday. Is that correct?
Yeah. Production. We get our handouts on Saturday and qualify Saturday night.
Okay. Cool. So what have you run all your classes of car? Are you racing all classes?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've run all your cars?
The only one that I haven't ran is the F1 car because I'm kind of trying to find a good motor to put in it. Tomorrow I'm gonna ask around and try to find one that'll go in it because it needs a tiny one.
Right.
So I need to find a baby motor for it.
Right.
Should have
do you
brought
feel
an FK.
does your cars and all the other classes feel good?
Yeah, they all feel good. Like my production car is okay, but like I ran Hooper's production car and it was like awesome. And so whenever I ran Hooper's production car, we were like within 1/10 of the fastest times I had seen. So I was like, yeah, whatever that is good.
Right.
You just need to copy that and hope it's good. And then for 24, I've ran 24 the most out of Eurosport cars, and my car was great. And then yesterday, I kind of got banged up some and got it bent, and I'm kind of getting it back right now. It got pretty good by the end of today, but it's still not quite where it was. And then
who's your go ahead.
What?
I was gonna tell you, go ahead.
And then in 32, my 32nd Eurosport's good. It's like stuck. I can do whatever I want to, and it doesn't feel like it'll ever come off, which is great. So I just gotta find more. I gotta find more speed and get braver on the power.
Who's your production partner again?
Jason Hooper.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was Jason or somebody else. But.
I got lucky enough to get Hooper, so I'll have a good car. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, you gotta hope you can make your handout chassis work as well as a car that's been massaged for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully, but that's the challenge of it all.
Right. Cool. So what's the funniest thing you've seen so far?
The funniest? Honestly, the funniest thing is just Wes and Chubby. That's about it. Wes and Chubby, and then Tim. Tim Hold, I believe, is his last name.
Rabbit.
Yeah. He's sitting behind me. Then Wes and Chubby are on the other side of the table. And it's just so funny listening to those bicker back and forth. It's great. And then, like, Wes and Chubby will bicker back and forth. It's like a peanut gallery. It's wonderful. So I can just sit there. If I'm mad, I can just sit there for a few minutes and I'll be happy again. So I'll just start laughing.
And what's the coolest thing you've seen so far as overall?
I mean,
being able
all
to
the
drink
different
at 16.
All the different controllers.
Okay.
The controllers are really cool. They're so wild how different all of them are. And a lot of them I've never seen before. A lot of them aren't available. I mean,
Right.
It's really cool to see.
And what's the coolest non-slot racing thing you've seen in England so far?
Somebody is driving an Aston Martin Vantage to the track, and that thing's pretty sweet.
Okay.
So every time I walked out to the Mercedes to get a sandwich or something, I just walked by it and kind of stared at it for a while.
And how are you finding the food over there?
not the greatest, but
It's an adjustment, isn't it?
basically
Does it have
as
any taste or no taste?
Chris Radisich said. What?
Does it have any taste, or is there like it's just bland?
It's bland and it tastes awful. As Chris Radisich says, it's terrible for America, but it's good for here. That, like, whenever he describes something, he says it's terrible for America, but it's great for here. So, and like the plane ride food was English food, and that was the worst stuff ever. But it was like the cheese sandwich we got tasted so bad. It was disgusting. But that cheese had to have been sitting on the plane for 3 weeks, at least. It was awful.
It's all vacuum sealed.
Yeah, it's terrible. And then for breakfast, like the beans, it was beans, tater tots, a damn omelet, and
That damn omelet.
it was all terrible.
You got
And some warm tea. Yeah, it was all bad.
and you got some tomatoes with your breakfast, right?
Yeah, tomatoes too.
Yeah,
Even
I would be
tomatoes
so
are bad.
skinny. How'd you lose all your weight, Shane? I went to England for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back home and be fit.
By the time it's time to come home, you'll be used to it.
Yeah, then I'll be eating like this much whenever I get home. Be full. But yeah, I mean the food here is okay. You just have to get the right thing, basically. You have to get something that you're familiar with, more like it.
Have you had any spotted dick yet?
No, I have not.
Time for penicillin.
Huh?
It'd be time for penicillin.
Actually, it's actually like a pudding, but
No, yeah. Well, that stuff that Roger had, that looked like baby food.
yeah, it looked worse than that. But hey,
Yeah, it's
all right, young man. You got anything else to add? Because I know you got to get going.
I mean, all the guys here are all crazy.
Right.
I mean, everybody here is a nutcase. I guess it's stock cars, so that's pretty predictable. I've met quite a few people that I've talked to before and never met and whatnot. So
So
pretty nice meeting all the people.
Are you like an international slot superstar because of Between the Lanes and stuff, or?
I mean, they know of me. That's about it.
Has anybody asked you for your autograph yet?
No.
You got to up your game.
Yeah, I might start crying just because you said that.
You still got a week and a half.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do something good enough to actually want somebody to, or for somebody to want my autograph. Oof.
Hey, you're a U.S. national champion.
Yeah.
But there's so many national champions over there and world champions.
I'm not the only one.
Where do I fit in?
There's only like 35, 40 other U.S. champions, and then there's 35, 40 world champions.
Right.
Like, no. Not the only one.
No, you're not the only one.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, it's fun, and having people approach me knowing who I am and not knowing who they are is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, so
cool. Well, I'm going to tell you good luck.
Thank you.
Keep us updated. Maybe next week you can get back on or something.
Yeah, hopefully.
Depends on your schedule.
Hopefully I can get Justin on here next week.
Yeah. Maybe we get some other guys in there like we did a year or two ago.
Yeah. And I mean, if we can get Justin, Vegas, Canuti
Yeah.
and Chris are all in the Airbnb together.
Okay, yeah, let's work
So
on the California crew.
yeah,
Get Boots on here. That's who I want to talk to.
yeah. I'll make sure he wears his boots.
Well, he posted a picture today on Facebook. He was at the grocery store in his shorts and his boots.
Yeah.
People over there are probably looking at him like, what in the hell?
I don't even know what cowboy boots are there.
So,
Those are strange trainers.
yeah, how you liking that? How you liking that warm soft drinks and pop and soda and?
It's actually all cold.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah, everything's been cold,
Oh, that's good.
which is nice. Nothing's been served warm.
Good.
So, yeah, it's pretty nice. We can actually get bags of ice at Aldi whenever we get our chainsaws, so it's really nice.
Chainsaws.
Yeah. Aldi has, like food, bags of ice, and then it also has chainsaws and weed eaters and generators.
Okay. That's
Interesting.
Is it the same Aldi that's here in the States?
Yeah. Same Aldi.
Okay.
Same Aldi. They have the same carts with the coin. You take them out with the coin. Same thing.
Oh, because I've never noticed a garden section at my Aldi's. I haven't been in Aldi for years.
It's got like this middle aisle, and in this middle aisle is just a bunch of racks of just random stuff. You got everything from a weed eater and a chainsaw to not super glue, Gorilla Glue to Sharpies to X-Acto knives. You name it, it's in that middle aisle. They got shoes, they got shirts, shorts, they got everything.
Wow. I'm missing out. Yeah. Our town's getting ready to open its 7th Dollar General store. Only one Aldi, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, we only have one.
Yeah. We're getting a Dollar Tree.
Okay. Well, we will let you go, and we're going to do the regular show now. And we thank you for sharing time with us.
Thank you from USA.
Yes, thank you. So good luck. We'll be watching you. What is that? Oh, that's some funny money.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. Time to sleep.
Tell your dad thanks.
Thanks, Dad.
He's asleep.
They ain't snoring.
He's on his phone.
All right.
He's not snoring.
Bye, Walker.
See ya.
Have fun.
I'll try to.
There. He's out. So there's a little bit of lag there. I don't think his Wi-Fi connection is good as his hotel, but they're having fun.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't gotten in trouble.
Yet.
Doesn't sound like he's in agony too much. Sounds like he's...
Nah, they'll probably lose some weight, though.
Yeah,
that's what they're...
He already lost hair. He already lost weight with a haircut.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. They were giving him a hard time at the... TSA was giving him a hard time because it happened here.
I changed over to the other screen. Keep on talking.
Oh, that confused me.
No, sorry.
He was going through customs, and they were talking about his hair.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right.
I'm surprised they don't have facial recognition on that stuff.
I mean, that's just like with me with with my beard.
Right.
You don't realize how much it makes you age or whatever until it's, full beard. It's like, oh, and then you shave it, and it's like, oh, well, that does make a difference. You can't see my 7th chin.
Yep.
So.
All right. So welcome to Between the Lanes again, episode number 112, and there's a 112 Gary Blue race car. I got to throw that in there tonight. So
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Find us on YouTube. Slot Racer is the channel. 112 episodes up now. Some special episodes and some how-to videos. Oh, you can find us on Facebook. Oh,
I have to throw this in too. This is what now our second or third ISRA Worlds coverage.
I think this is third.
Third. I couldn't remember if it was the third or the second. So
Between the Lanes is the page on Facebook. Race results from last weekend. The winning report. Texas Retro was at Dallas Slot Cars. And in the Can-Am race, Richard Hoffer was the winner. Ed Bazin was second, and Casey Neubauer, who's kind of been missing in action down there, I think, for a while, but at least hasn't been on a podium for a while if he's been racing regularly. But Casey, I think, is back, and he finished third. F1 was won again by Richard Hoffer, completing the sweep. Stephen Reed was second, and Dave Barry, who's missing from the picture, was third. I don't have any podium pictures, but the Ohio Retro Series was at Mark's Model World. And in the Can-Am class, Greg Mayer was the winner, Jeremy Dennis second, Dave Smirka third. In Formula One, Greg Mayer was the winner. Al Rudy was second. Dave Smirka was third. And then in Retro Angle Winder, Greg Mayer pulled off the sweep by winning that. Bill Fulmer second, Jeremy Dennis third. Yuska was at Logan Avenue Raceway in Illinois. In the IndyCar class, Jeff Strauss was the winner. Joey Lambra was second, and Brian Sursa was third. 4.5. Jeff Strauss wins again. Bill Savinik was second, and Brian Sursa was third. Can-Am, it's like a broken record. Jeff Strauss the winner. Joey Lamker second, and Brian Sursa third. And then in production, it finally got mixed up a little bit. Jeff Strauss was the winner there, pulling off the sweep, the big quad. Jim Kreider was second, and Bill Savinik was third. FNRS was at Race-O-Rama in North Baltimore, Ohio. LMP, Ron Hirschman was the winner. Denny Murray was second. Jim Pace Jr. third. In the stock car race, Jim Pace set the pace. He was the winner. Ron Hirschman second. Denny Murray third. In the GTP, Ron Hirschman was the winner. Denny Murray was second. And Uncle Bob Dempsey was third. And Denny won the B main and wound up finishing second overall. He, I think, was 2 or 4 laps ahead of Bob for third overall, because Bob was second in the A main. East Coast Flexi Series had their final race of their, I guess, summer series. They were at Fast Tracks in Bally, PA. Stock car was won by Bill Gearhart, Bobby Davis second, Carmen V was third. In LMP, Carmen V was the winner, Bill Gearhart second, and Dale Granger in third. The stock car champs for the series, Bobby Davis is your champion. Pops Davis was second, and Mark Daniels was third. And in LMP, the championship went to Bobby Davis Jr. Pops was second again. And Tim Hoffman was third, but that's Al Miller standing in the photo for third place Tim Hoffman. The Southern Retro Rumble and Gurr race took place down at Fast Eddie's in Pinellas Park, Florida. In the GTC Coupe class, Danny Zona was your winner. Terry Tawney second. Brian Ambrose was third. Stock cars, Jeff Bonanno. This was on the oval. Jeff Bonanno was the winner. Aaron Rothstein was second, and Rick Moore was third. Can-Am, Danny Zona is your winner again, with Jeff Bonanno second, and Rick Moore in third. And then they ran Formula One on the oval. Danny Zona was second, or Danny Zona was the winner, excuse me. Rick Moore was second, and Jeff Bonanno was third in that. New England Retro Racing Group was in action at Modelville, Ashland, Massachusetts. Stock car class, Gary Clinton Jr. was your winner. Dominic Luongo was second. Vinny Cafazzo was third. Formula One, Vinny was the winner. Keith Libby second, and Dan Weiland was third. And we didn't announce this on the race or as upcoming races, but Mark's Model World had a 4-hour Womp enduro race, and they raced Womps with these, I forget what these are called, these bodies are called, but Mark makes them there at Mark's Model World. He vacuum forms them. They're Lexan, and I think they're 15,000 stick. And so you had to run that body. It was a 4-hour enduro. And, oh, there you go. It's an MG Midget. That's what that body is. Bill Phelps and Will Phelps was the winning team. Todd, I think it's the Laser, and Aaron, I can't make out that. And Mike.
Palmer.
Is that Palmer? Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Todd, Aaron, and Mike were the second place team. Ralph Middall, Tom Espinoza, and John Good were third. And then team Where's Terry? When I see Where's Terry, I'm thinking, is it work in Indianapolis? Sean Steed and Steve, I don't know, Sikafus? I think it's was fourth. So I had 4 teams. So sign up now for the next race. I just want to give a shout out to Charles Eldridge. He needs to get signed up for that next Womp Womp Enduro because Womps rock. Winner, chicken dinner. That's your report. That is Shane's Q.
Sunday.
So this Sunday, we got the ISRA Worlds starting on Saturday with production 24th and racing through all next week and into next Saturday, Sunday. Also this weekend, Sis is at Whiskers. Penn Jersey is at Fast Tracks Valley. Sunset 240s at Mid-America Naperville. The weekend of the 12th, it's kind of a big weekend. We got Mid-South. Where's the Mid-South race at?
That Uncle Charlie's in North Wilkesboro.
Yep. Mid-America Hard Body Nationals at Naperville, Mid-America. The Florida Slot Car Series is at Raceway.biz. Penn, Ohio is at Fast Tracks. Retro East is in action. The weekend of the 19th, the Midwest Spec Series gets started. F2000 Wing Cars at Lucky Bob. USCA is in action, and Buckeye Retro Series is downriver. The last weekend of the month, you've got OCC at Washington, GUR in action. In Jersey is at Trains and Lanes, and it'll be the I don't want to say this because I'm going to say the 5th or 6th annual Texas Two-Step Retro Race at Dallas Slot Cars. So that's what's coming up in October. And that's all I got. So, couple of new things we've seen over the weekend, maybe, well, since the last show. I think on Friday, JK announced their new thicker C43. You know, they call it C26. They call it C43. Now you add a T for the thicker version of the chassis. And I think the comment was King Track Racers asked for thicker or heavier cars or something, which makes no sense to me. But and then Russell Sheldon posted a picture of the Mazzetti Avenger X chassis, which will be the stamp chassis. But the car picture was actually a laser cut sample, but I didn't see much difference between the Avenger X and the X, and Ernie told me the Avenger X has a little more weight in the back, but I can't see it in pictures. So, and also today, for you thingy racers, the Shinoda Reunion Race is now scheduled for November 30th at Downriver Speedway, Lincoln Park, Michigan. Last year that race was held, I think, the first weekend of December, and they had some retro races, and it was kind of a combined deal. But this year it's going to be a separate thingy-only event. That'll be Thanksgiving weekend. So, and one last note: the East Coast Flexi Series because they don't have any races scheduled between now and December. In December, they start their Winter War series or something like that. And there's 7 races. It goes from December to June. There's 1 race a month. LMP and 4-inch stock cars. 4 different raceways. Speed Zone, Fast Tracks Valley, Smitty J's, and forgive me, I can't remember, I didn't write down the other name, but we'll get it next week. Those 4 raceways. Speed Zone has 1 race. All the other raceways have 2 races. And I guess they're paying out like $1,000 cash for the points championship.
That's cool.
I don't know. I didn't see any breakdown, but
Right.
they're having a big cash payout for the series championship, along with other prizes that'll be donated and stuff.
Right.
So that was announced in the last few days. A couple other races that were announced in the last couple of days. The weekend of January 18th, 19th, HMS Raceways Bellevue, Ohio is going to have a 2-day retro race, coupes and F1 cars on Saturday, Can-Am, and stock cars on Sunday. Everything's on the King track. Handout motors for the coupes, IRA rules for all the classes, and that's a benefit race for Cindy McMasters. And then they're also going to have a benefit race for Cindy McMasters at Mark's Model World on February 15th, which is Valentine's weekend. And they're going to run IRA Can-Am, OCC GT1, and FNRS GTP classes. And portions of the entry fees or whatever for both races will go to Cindy McMasters of the McMasters family, as she has been taking chemo treatments and stuff like that for her cancer.
Gotcha.
So other than that, that's all the news I have. So,
Right.
so you went to Charlotte Motor Speedway.
I did.
For the second year in a row, they had the Roval slot car road course track set up.
Right.
For anyone. Bank of America sponsors that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And they set the track up. Gary Girding built that track a year ago, and the promotion company now, I guess, is in charge of. I think they own the track, so they contract to Bank of America. So, I know last year they put, I don't know, what is that, 4-lane or 6-lane track? 6-lane?
To be honest with you, I've never seen it.
You haven't seen. Okay, so
Yeah,
so you don't really know.
Yeah,
I know last year you would go over and they would give you a clear body and you could run a car.
I didn't go last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that Walker and his dad was involved in helping that company set up.
Yeah, this year I believe Walker and his dad helped set it up and provided bodies and everything for them.
Okay.
And
so you didn't go either year and look at the track.
No.
Okay.
Nope. No, I had enough going on Saturday and Sunday with arrangements that we had that I didn't have time to go. I mean, I shouldn't say I didn't have time. Whenever we got done doing everything that we had to do, I didn't want to go over there because I was hot and I was just tired. And we did go by Randy's, the actual B slot car track Concord Saturday night, afternoon. Stopped by and talked to Shelly to see how everything went as far as dropping them off, as far as their flights and everything.
Right.
And we hung out for a little bit. But we were sunburnt, and I think Bobby said we walked 8 miles Saturday, just with everything going on. So yeah, but as far as the track, other than pictures, I've never physically seen the track with my own eyes or raced on it.
Right.
So
cool.
I couldn't even tell you where it was at. I know I called Ray and he's like, yeah, it's on the front stretch or the front, the main road. And I was like, okay, but I have no clue. So
I was at the FNRS race at Race-O-Rama. We had a horrible turnout. And sometimes you have that. I mean, like, it just happened.
The people that were there had fun.
Yeah, we had a great time. And
That's all that
Um,
matters.
they also Carl had scheduled a drag race, and it was somebody's birthday, and they did a big
Get
cook.
some cake.
Oh, we had more than cake, dude. We had ribs, and we had
That's nice.
chicken. Oh, this was a spread. I mean, whew.
Speaking of spread, I gotta thank George. Sunday, George's company he works for is behind the raceway.
Yeah.
And he invited us to come over, and we had fried fish, chicken, hush puppies, homemade hush puppies. Kind of the same thing like you were saying. Just him and his dad were like, eat. We're like, okay. Ran us back and forth to the racetrack. So one time I told him, I was like, I'm going to wave to people and see if they think I'm somebody, because I was on the back of the golf cart and I was
Right.
waving. There's some people looking like,
Right. So, Friday night, I was again testing and figuring out tires, and the LMP car liked a soft Wonder. I had 3 LMP cars together. They all liked that. And then
Mazzetti.
Yeah, I ran a Mazzetti. I ran a Avenger.
Avenger.
In LMP.
So that's the second generation car, right? Not the newest one.
Well, it's the one that's available now. The Avenger X is not available yet.
Gotcha.
So, kind of figured, well, this is the tire I'm going to run. So then I started playing with the GTP cars, because we ran GTP and LMP on the paper clip. And Carl had the tracks in super shape. I mean, like, I've raced there once, maybe twice. It seems like I've raced there twice, but I can't. And this, by far, the track was like, both tracks were the best they had been. And he said he spent about 10 hours on each track going through braid. And so got the GTP cars out. I had like 5 or 6 cars that had Scorpion motors in them, and they'd been together. And I took the set of Wonder rubber tires, put them on, ran it. And kind of like, okay, I think this car's probably got the fastest motor in it, probably handles the best. You know what I'm saying? So, but then it seemed like after we ran for a while, well, there was a couple cars that didn't go so good. And I'm thinking, well, they need a little softer tires. So then I put like an Alpha Soft Wonder on, and that hooked those 2 cars. Those 2 cars are hooked up. So I came down. I had 2 cars that would run 2 9s, sometimes 2 8s, and it was funny because one car was on the Wonder rubber, the soft JK,
right,
and the other one was on the soft Alpha. Now, not to confuse anybody, but soft JK Wonder is like Alpha Medium, and then the Alpha Soft Wonder is softer than Alpha Medium and soft JK Wonder. So when I say soft Alpha Wonder, it's softer than the JK Soft. So one car, okay, so I took the car that was going the best on the JK, I put them on the second car, and it wasn't as good. Then I put the softer tires on that car, and it made it just as good as the other car. So I thought, well, let's put the soft tires on, and it killed that car. I mean, it was just bizarre to have 2 identical chassis, if you will.
Right.
Same bodies, same motors. How they ran so much different on 2 different tires. So then Sunday or Saturday morning, I came in and I did some treated tires, and that's what I actually wound up running on my LMP car, because it went actually better with the treated, a little bit softer than the soft JK Wonder. So, and I didn't run on the oval at all on Friday, and kind of just went out there and threw a car out there. I was just as fast as the other guys. It was just
like the old Hail Mary.
Just send it.
Yeah.
And none of us had a super good race, but Jim Pace was really fast. He definitely came off, I think, the least amount of. because the race came down to me and him and Denny.
Right.
Denny had a good lead, but then he went up as we went down, and we got all that back. So
Right.
the race came down to me and Denny, and I knew that when I got off of black, I was finishing yellow and orange, and he was finishing black yellow. He was going to beat me. I mean, just the lane, just the lane's going to work. And so he got me by 5, and then we go back to LMP. So we qualify, and Denny Murray comes up to qualify, and his car is really, really slow. Like, dude, we're going to run over you every 5 laps. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so I told Denny, I said, like, is that your fastest motor? Or I said, I got a motor for you if you want to, if you want to change it.
Right.
And he said something, and Jim Pace even offered him a motor. And he's like, no, I'm just going to run. I said, no. Change the motor. Like,
and make it fun at least,
part of the show, like, so.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay. So it's kind of like, okay, me and Jim, I said, I'll give him.
Yeah.
So I gave him a motor on one of the other LMP cars, and I mean, it was.
Right, you just didn't hand him a card and just say here.
Well, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That would have been easier to do, but anyway, so I went over and took a motor out and gave it to him, and he put it in. And we're getting ready to warm up, and he says, "Well, yeah, I had my choke on. I qualified." He didn't know it. He had bumped it. He didn't realize it.
Right.
And it's like, because I heard him make a comment like, he goes, you guys never really ran your LMP cars in practice, and I didn't know what kind of times you were turning, so I just thought this was. So we start the race, and after a couple of heats, I'm like, I'm going to get beat with my own damn motor here. Like,
yeah, he's getting around pretty good.
Well, Denny used to race on that track a lot when Bear had it, and he really, he gets around the track really well, and I think that motor was faster in his car than it was in my car. Okay, so he was, but it came down to the last heat. I think we were tied. I was behind him. Maybe I was a lap behind. He was finishing black. I was finishing yellow. I just come off of black, and I knew black was pretty slick up the donut. I mean, it just wasn't run in.
Right.
And I thought, if I'm loose, I know he's going to be loose because he's just as fast as me.
Right.
And, he come up here and spun out a couple times in the donut, and I come around and got him, and then he just couldn't run fast enough pace to stay.
Make it up.
So, I got him by a lap. So it was like, phew. Yeah, I thought I was getting beat by my own motor.
Yeah, because I think I met him at this year's Flexipalooza at Marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember he came.
An oval racer. He's got a small 6-lane oval in his garage at his house in the Ohio Oval Series. Runs there a couple times a year, and he has a Daytona 500 race in February, and then he has a dirt late model race another time of the year. And I want to go there and race because it's like this little flat bull ring oval. I got to go there and race. And I know I'm going to get dizzy.
Right, yeah.
The track record's like 1.1 or something, like it's really super fast but I've always wanted to go there and run on his little bull ring. So, but yeah. I mean, Denny has a lot of road racing experience years ago.
Right.
But he's been into ovals for so many years. And then like Grant Sams, I mean, he's mainly an oval racer, and he TQ'd in the oval race, and he led the first 2 heats. He probably would have won the race, but he had some trouble on white. And it was just like he just kind of went down like the Titanic at that point. He had some problems on red, and he never really got going back up to speed like he was the first couple of heats. So, because I know Denny would qualify, and he sucked a body, and we let him change his body so he could. Well, he trimmed the body, trimmed all he could out of the back, and he doesn't have enough bulletproofing in there, and it sucked back in. It's like, go get another body.
Yeah. Make it fun for everyone since it was just a small crowd.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Don't have to be as
his body
serious. I
would
mean,
have
it's
sucked.
serious.
His body would have sucked going down to destroy your way into the bank, and he would have launched and
Like to do ever.
body out. Yeah, so it's just like go change your body.
Right.
So we had fun. Carl was a good host. Fed us well, or somebody fed us well.
Sounds like it. Yeah, I was gonna say it sounded like.
It was great. So
That's all that matters. Everyone had fun, got experience.
yep. And that track is I love racing on. I mean, we have like 2 paper clips up here, and I never really raced on any until John Miller's at Pro Slot, and then.
See, I don't know if I've ever ran. I guess it would have been Ralph's old home track. Was that a paperclip?
Well, yeah, that's the track that was at Anderson, right?
I have no idea where that track was at before.
I think that Anderson track, paperclip they ran at the Nats and Anderson was.
With the Snowville?
Yeah, I think
okay.
so. Oh yeah, and I never ran on that. When I was at the Nats in Anderson, I never made a lap on that paperclip because I wasn't really racing at that time.
Yeah, because I was sitting there trying to think while you talking. I was like, I wonder if there's a track that I haven't raced on, as far as the standard, tracks that people have.
Right.
And I was thinking, if I ever ran on a paperclip, and I was like, well, maybe I have. That's the thing is, I'll get to talking to people, and sometimes me and Bobby will get to talking. And he'll tell me about a race, and I'm like, I was there. And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I honestly sometimes don't remember.
Well, yeah, it's kind of funny. I can remember lots of stuff, but like sometimes when I go through the old magazines,
right,
I'll find a race that oh, I won that race, or I was at that race.
Yeah.
I don't remember being there.
I mean, races that I haven't even won. You know what I mean? It's just like I was there. Yeah, I mean.
Right.
I'm not saying I've raced a lot, but apparently I've been around, I guess.
Right. So there you have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and the 2 paper clips are so different, Carl shortened this up. I think it used to be a 135-foot paper clip, and he shortened it up to fit in the building. So I don't know what the actual footage is. John's is 105 foot. John's is way flatter than Carl's. So after the first time we were at Pro Slot, Ralph asked me, well, can you punch the top turn? I'm like, no, you cannot punch the top turn. Well, we can punch the top turn on ours. I'm like, you can't on this one because it's really flat. And
that's what they have at Pro Slots and paperclip also?
Yeah. Pro Slot's paperclip is really flat compared to Carl's.
Okay.
Well, Dad's built Dad's, I might have built both of them, but the one at Carl's is way more banked. A top turn, and you come out of the donut. Either the donut's a different round radius.
Right.
They're 2 different tracks.
Kind of like the Girding Kings. They're all kings, but
those 2 are the same.
Right.
So, I said, no, we can't. You cannot punch the top turn at Pro Slot. No way. It just can't be done. And so when I raced the last time at Carl's, we ran retro cars, and there's no way you can punch a retro car there to the top turn. And I swear I raced there at Carl's one time before that, but I can't remember what we raced. Anyway, so I'm out there, and I have my rhythm to the track. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And so we're qualifying GTP, and Uncle Bob's out there running, and I'm watching him. I'm like, is he punching the top turn? Because we qualified on green lane. Is he punching the top turn? We got done. I go, you punching the top turn? Well, yeah. Aren't you? I said, no, I'm not punching the top turn. I'm micro blipping it. He goes, well, you ought to be able to punch it. And I'm like, I don't think my car will go around there full punch,
Right.
So I go up to qualify, and I get going, and I'm like, all right, this lap.
Here we go.
I'm going to punch the top turn. But I still micro blipped it.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
So I think I got 2 laps in where I punch the top turn. But then it messed my rhythm up
Right.
on the
Yeah.
rest of the track. So I wound up running like a 284, which was the track record. And I don't know if that was a punch top turn lap or not. I
Right.
don't no idea. Because I was really messed up a couple of other turns when I did that. It was just bizarre. So in the race, I would start off blip, 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 blip. And then
That's like
I would okay, so like red, white, and green, for the last minute of the heat, I was punched in the top.
your. I remember Durham when we ran at Durham. You'd come off the bank, come down, then Bobby used to always tell me, why aren't you punching that? I was like, if I punch that turn down there, it puts me to that kink way faster than what I expect it should.
Right.
And it messes me up on the kink. I was like, so I blip that, and it makes me faster in the kink.
Well,
I was like, how do you run it? He was like, I am punched. I'm like, well, that's you.
Yeah, I never punched that finger down. I had to blip it to get the rhythm.
But then, you'd go under the bridge. Everyone would punch that. I wouldn't punch that.
Right.
I'd blip that, and then I'd blip the next turn, and then I was wide open.
Yeah, the hardest thing for me to do on that track was punch the sweeper.
Was it?
Come down.
That's the one that could. Yeah.
Yeah, and punch all the way around. Yeah, that was the hardest thing for me to do because to me, naturally, you should not be able to hold your car wide open through there.
And see, whenever the third or fourth race there, Bobby told me the same thing. He was like, "You're not punching that," and I was like, "No." He's like, "You can punch that." I was like, "Every lane." He's like, you punch that turn. You go through the high bank. You blip the next one. You punch that one. You blip the kink. You punch this. I was like, so this track, as big as it is what, just a 3-blip track? And he was like, blip, wide open, And he was like, yeah, like 3 blips. That's it. I'm like, all right. And then the only time I ran it like that was, I think, one of the FNRS races. There towards the end. Remember, you were like, where'd this car come from? I was like, driver finally woke up. I got it figured out. So.
I guess that was a 6 blip track for me on mini laps there.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's been episodes ago, obviously, but it's like that track was faster. I guess the size of it kind of intimidated you, but it was a fast track.
Oh, it was a very fast track for how big it is, but.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is you look at how big it is and you think, yeah, you can't do that. And then, no, your car's right. You could do it.
Right.
And then that track, the kink and how your body was set up. Because I went there one time and I had the body too stiff and it would chatter coming through the S's or through the kink.
Right.
Bobby's like, put my body on it. He's like, don't change nothing. Just put my body on your car. Did that. I was just like, okay.
What a difference.
Over there cutting the body out.
Yep.
Good times. So,
okay, well, that's all I got, I think.
I'm still somewhat recuperating because 2 weeks ago was slot car racing. This last week I went to the Roval race, and
the hot
I'm off this weekend. So
I'm headed to the Sunset 240 Enduro.
Yeah, getting practice for the Flexi Flats. We got to start.
Pretty much.
Yep. I'm going to hopefully have all my cars ready for Uncle Charlie's Friday night. And then I told myself this weekend I still need to paint my handout bodies. And then I got my chassis right here that I kind of need to go through. Don't have to do too much to them. Just kind of check them out.
Right.
Kind of refreshing the rules. So I haven't looked over the rules in a while, see if there's anything that I'm not doing that I can do, and vice versa. So
all right.
That race will be here before I know it, and I'll be on the bird taking my flight for the year.
Yep. So if you're racing this weekend, safe travels, good luck. Good luck to everybody in England for the ISRA Worlds that start this weekend. Go get them, Team USA.
Oh, yeah.
We're counting on you.
I messaged some guys today. I've talked to Justin. He said he was getting around pretty good. I messaged Jonathan. He actually replied to me while we were recording this. I think he said his cars were good. I just one of those deals that came across, and I caught the first beginning of it. Like, all right. So that's about all. And then obviously Walker. So.
Right. And hopefully we'll have them on the show next. Somebody or some of them next week on the show. Or if not, maybe we'll do a special episode. depending on their timing over there.
Because they're 5 hours ahead of us.
5 hours ahead of us, and when they start racing, they're on a pretty tight time schedule. So,
right. And I guess another thing for those asking as far as the live feed, if you go on Facebook and put in ISRA 2019, the page comes up, and then there's a website that you can click on, and it has the live feed that you can watch.
Yeah, okay. So if you go on, if you also go on Facebook, to the ISRA 2019 page, there's links there, and then there's some kind of Twitch app they want you.
Yeah, I haven't did anything with the Twitch app because I just clicked. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have not watched any live feeds from their deal because nothing's official. I mean, it's just practice.
Yeah.
So I mean, between Roger Schmidt and Randy McNulty and some other people putting up stuff, I've seen some stuff the last day or two.
Yeah.
And, I mean, doesn't get serious until Saturday. So
yeah, that's like me. I get up in the morning 15, 20 minutes before I actually have to get up and start getting ready for work. I'll grab the phone and look because they're 5 hours ahead. So I was like, all right. Like this morning I watched 15, 20 minutes of practice. I think Jonathan, I seen Justin, I seen Walker, a couple other Americans, and I was just like, all right, just kind of, all right, they're getting around pretty good. And then the left-hand corner is the lap.
Yeah.
So you can see what kind of lap times they're running. It's like, all right. And then throughout the day, lunch break, I'll click on, all right, that's what they're,
Well, I think today they posted they were having some kind of glitches or something, and if they were going to try something tonight, and if it didn't work, they were going to go back to what they had at one of the warm-up races. And
as far as the feed?
Yeah.
Because one of them I watched, it said in the actual thing itself is if it's lagging, you can go under settings and change it to like a different quality.
Okay.
And then because I think today I had it on like 720p source, and then there's like a 720p, and then there's like a 420.
Right.
And I finally got it to the 420, and it wasn't lagging or cycling.
Okay.
It was going straight through. And I mean, the quality of the picture wasn't as good, but I can't really see the cars anyway. You know what I mean? So it's just, yeah.
So yeah, there's going to be live links. I mean, from now until it's over.
Yeah, and I'm sure once it starts racing, like you said, more people will be going live.
Yeah, and if you're Eastern Standard Time, they're 5 hours ahead.
Right.
So if you are further west, you have to adjust accordingly.
Right. For me, I guess for you too, right? Because you're on the same time.
Now, if I'm in Chicago, there'd be 6 hours. And then you go to 7 hours, and I guess the East Coast would be 8 hours. The West Coast would be 8 hours.
Yeah, it was.
California would be there 8 hours.
Yeah, they're 3 hours behind. Yeah. Because I remember talking to Jonathan's dad, and he's like, "Yeah, we're on a 3 hour span now." Okay.
Right.
So.
Yep, Central. I don't know if they call it Mountain Time Zone or Rocky Mountain Time Zone, and then.
Wasn't there? I mean, I know this is kind of off topic from the show.
Time zone
wasn't there like 4 time zones at one time?
Yeah, there still is.
Is there? I can say that.
I'm not sure. Like I said, it's Eastern, Central, I think Mountain Time, and then West.
Well, I remember being in Michigan for FlexiPalooza, and I'm like, we're not an hour behind? Nope, you're right on the line. So you look out the window, and it's like 9 o'clock at I say night, but it's daylight.
Oh, well, it's dark. It's dark now here at 7:30 at night, but we haven't fell back yet.
Yeah. Yep.
And it seems like 2 weeks ago, it's been more than that, but it just seems like a few weeks ago. Like if I go to dinner at 8 o'clock, I got to grab the sunglasses because it's still bright out.
Right.
Now I grab this, and it's like, oh, I don't need these. It's pitch dark. Like
I just leave them in the truck.
No.
Take them out of the truck and don't do like I did one time. I leave them at work, or I left my regular glasses at work. Because at work I always wear my sunglasses because I'm outside all day.
Right.
And I got them in a case, and I was like, I always set them down and wash my hands, take my uniform off, and change into clean clothes before I get in my truck. I backed it into the driveway, went to go grab my case to change it out, put my regular glasses on. I was like, well, I guess I'm wearing sunglasses because I left them at the shop.
All right. That's all I got. So until next week, episode 113, everybody have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.
You have to have a secret word.
I was actually thinking about that yesterday, and now it completely slips my mind because I don't remember what I was gonna. I don't remember what I was gonna use. It had something to do with a race, I thought.
Did you write it in your notes?
Yeah, no, I did not. I did not write it down.
No.
So pick a word if you want to.
2 words. Since it's ISRA and we have a good showing of Americans, let's just go with Team USA.
All right, Team USA is it. Go Team USA. Secret word of the week show. We will see you next week.
Have a good night.